Thank you, Professor. So, good afternoon, everyone. It is afternoon in India here. So, I'm a crew member of Mission 72. Today, I'm going to be talking about greenhouse facility in Mars Space Habitat. So, these are some of the key points which I'll be mentioning in today's presentation. So, this is the space station designed by F. Shrathod during his mission during mission 42, and here we have the greenhouse facility which has access from four other facilities. So in basically in the internal design of every facility we'll be having dormitory with beds for astronauts and a kitchen and dining room, toilets, and a vertical garden with plants for meals and a 3D printing facility. So this is the greenhouse design proposed by me. So we have three levels here, and then vertical, actually cylindrical forming chamber in the middle, and the each level, each individual plant trays in the forming chamber can be separated using membrane-like structures. If you in case if you are cultivating different crops in the same tray, and this can be used as a soil forming, or in my case I'm actually using hydroponic systems since it increases productivity and all. This is the ground floor of the greenhouse. We have three beds for astronauts here and the toilet. This is the storage area for the astronauts. As you can see, we have access from four other facilities for this greenhouse, and the recreational area can be used for relaxing and entertainment purposes. It can be gym facilities, spa, reading area, movie watching, anything at all which involves social entertainment interactions and stuff. And here we have the staircase to move to the next level. So this is the first floor. This is basically a research center. In here we have a research center and two storage facilities, and I have also included an biomass production area because the plant waste can be used to create biofuels, using which we can run manage the energy needs. These biofuels can be used to produce electricity, and we have an electrical unit here. This is the working space. You can see the vertical forming chamber extends in all three levels. That is the middle area. And this is the 3D printing facility. And here we have the entrance from the stairs. And this is the stairs to the next level. This is the topmost floor in our facility. And here also we have our vertical forming chamber, which is actually 3 meter in diameter. The total diameter of our facility is 8 meters. And in here we have seeds and plant sampling storage. In this side, we are having sensors, valves, and other equipments. This is an additional area which I included. If and when we are needing, we are having excess plant waste, we can use that to form compost, which can be used as a natural fertilizers again for plant cultivation. And here is the entrance from the stairs. This is the kitchen area, and this is the dining area. So this is the internal design which I'm proposing. And the machines and technologies which we are using here are mainly closed loop hydroponic system, because it gives higher yield rates, and also it has rigid control of growth parameters like nutrient requirements, medium pH, purity, etc. So we can have a somewhat fixed data of how and what when the plant growth will be to the required levels. And we have various monitoring systems to monitor plant health. There are cameras for visual inspection and image processing, um, with automated condition assessment. they'll check for spread of diseases, water quality, plant health, and such. And thermal and radiation shielding technologies are also used because since astronauts will be exposed to some level of radiation in space, this is necessary to be included. And the temperature regulations are also necessary for our sustainability there. And for the lightning, we can use artificial lighting inside the facility. Um, LED lights, which are full range color tunable, are preferably used for plants. These increases the crop yield by 10%. And robots and automated systems are also used because it helps to form a balance between human labor and automation systems. This also helps to increase efficiencies. And vertical farming is used here because it increases production rate in reduced space. 3D printing is also used, and the possible resources to generate in situ or transported from Earth are mainly water, nutrients, and light. Water can be attained from recycling, and it can also be harvested from excess subsurface ice in certain regions in the Mars. This regions can be identified using SWIM project, the subsurface water ice mapping project actually. And for the nutrient requirements of the plant, we can use nutrient solution films and the compost which we are producing in our facility. And the light can be natural or artificial LED systems. And the pollination can be done using artificial wind, human intervention, or bees and bugs. And energy requirement are met using the biomass, which we are producing in our facility. We can also try to harness solar energy. And the CO2 requirement for plants can be produced from the astronauts, I mean humans living there, or we can collect it from extravehicular activities. And now the organizational structure will be like this. There will be an in charge for the greenhouse, a researcher, and a chef. And the number of astronauts is three. The greenhouse in charge uh, should have a background from one of the following. He can be a biologist, botanist, agronomist, or biotechnologist. His duties mainly include his or her duties are mainly to maintain the cultivation systems, report to other facilities, routine check of all the systems, and water and sensor checks. And the researcher can be a planetary geologist, astrobiologist, bioinformatics engineer. His main duties are monitoring the plant health, thermal and radiation regulation checking, biomass generation, seed sampling and production analysis. And the third one, the chef can be a nutritionist, gastronomer, or cook. His major duties are food preparation, waste disposal and cleaning, food rationing, depending on the number of days of the mission and the number of astronauts, and defining menu and meals regulations uh, to maintain a balanced diet. And the astronauts can be trained in the following topics: food production and waste management, instrumentation and engineering, which is really important to operate all the systems and follow the regulations, and greenhouse maintenance and cleaning, maintenance of ecological processes, um, regular monitoring of plant health, maximizing production, etc., and risk management. So this is an important aspect because it is really necessary to monitor the plant health and astronaut health as well, and to look out for system failures in any systems. And new skills also might be necessary in case of different situations arising on the planet. And these are some of the YouTube videos that can be used to train the astronauts to survive in Mars, in a Mars habitat. And the first one is It's a high seas project by NASA. So it is basically training, an analog training for astronauts to sustain on Mars. And the second one is mainly focusing on the psychological aspects of a Mars mission on astronauts. And the final one is the NEMO 19 project by NASA, which mainly implements underwater I mean, underwater training for astronauts to try to simulate the lifestyle on Mars. And these resources needed for 1 week. So, daily nutritional needs of a crew member are 2,700 calories per day, and the carbohydrate requirement is 500 gram per day, and protein is 80 gram per day. Oils or fat requirement is 140 gram per day. And for the daily consumption, a person should have 2,500 grams per day, and water 3 liters is required per day for a person. So, since we have three astronauts, the weekly consumption of food is 17,500 gram for for a person, and for three members it is 52,500 grams. And weekly water consumption for a person is 21 liters, and for three astronauts it is 63 liters. So these are the resources needed for 1 week in a Mars space habitat. And the guidelines to be provided to other facilities the whole stations are, excuse me, utilizing the recreational area to maintain well-being and performing the scheduled task, following all the safety guidelines and protocols, routine check of all the instrumentations and systems, uh, updating about the tasks performed, and reporting the diet followed to the physicians so that they can maintain a data of how balanced the diet of the astronauts are, and what are all the resources available for the upcoming days of the mission, and when the next harvesting has to be done and stuff like that. And proper resource management and utilization is essential. Extensive extensive research has to be done to maximize crop production, and development and application of food production guidelines. So, coming to the protocols, there are specific protocols for each facilities, and the main protocols for a greenhouse are monitoring the systems, sensor, water circulation systems, cultivation systems, and etc. And for the food production, it is essential to plan the meals and maintain a balanced diet uh, while doing proper waste disposal and biomass regeneration. Uh, and for the plant maintenance, it is necessary to have a proper data about the plant rotation and to monitor the plant health for any spread of diseases and production rates. And um, these plant growth rates can be compared with the other facilities to maintain a record. And for the facility should be properly organized and the tasks should be carried out regularly. So the protocols of safety are um, to do proper data collection of the available resources in order to maintain a proper diet schedule during the whole mission. And in case of unexpected emergencies such as system failure or a virus outbreak, it is necessary to be have the available resource data to maintain evacuation or isolation, and the resources should be available in every facilities so that these procedures can be carried out easily. And it is required to monitor the health of astronauts at regular intervals. They can test their blood samples and saliva samples. Pre-planned food rationing based on crop production is also necessary to plan the whole mission. And maintaining a psychological balance is very important. Astronauts can utilize the recreational area, meditation, and they can also. Uh, it is also said that human-plant interactions gives a good mental state. And protocol for occupancy or entertainment, we can utilize the terabytes of digital storage for reading, gaming, and movies. Gym facilities as fast can be used in the recreational area. Uh, Members can do meditation or yoga to maintain good mental health, and they can also play board games, and ecological processes are also said to be good for mental health. And the main protocols for food production are maximizing the crop production while using minimal labor work. This can be done by using robots and automations. This helps to maintain a balance between labor and automations. This is also said to increase productivity. And the most main important aspect is to reduce the material deliveries from Earth. It should be minimized in order to um, carry out other important systems. It is necessary to minimize the material transported from Earth, and compact space usage is also suggested. So that's why we are mainly going for vertical farming. And the protocols for 3D printing are, in case if an item is discarded, it is necessary to do proper disposal or recycling of those materials. And NASA is also looking to 3D print food. They are on the initial stage. This is this will be a great addition to the systems because it reduces the resources used, and it also saves the time of the crew members. And 3D printing can be done. Various equipments can be 3D printed, like containers, mugs, small shovels, pipelines, etc. And so the spin-offs, technologies and outputs that could be applied to Earth uh, from this mission are plant health monitoring. The cameras, which are used for visual inspection and image processing, can be utilized everywhere to avoid uh, destruction of crops due to spread of diseases unexpectedly, and so on. And hydroponic systems can be used because this increases the yield rate. It also has a rigid control of plant growth. Um, and closed loop systems can also be used. And alternative energy sources such as biomass can be used because it is easier to produce this, and this gives us an immense amount of energy. And recycling technologies should also be used in Earth. Um, and the guidelines to be applied to daily life on Earth are, people should have more recycling mindsets, irrespective of having abundant of resources. So this helps in uh, saving energy in various ways. And food waste disposal management is also necessary. Uh, Waste food can be used in biomass production to make composts and etc. Water usage should be minimized. Agriculturalists can follow drip irrigation system, and 3D printing is also suggested. Minimal exploitation of any resources should be applied not only to space habitat but also to Earth. And these are the major impacts to sustainable development goals based on this greenhouse design proposal. So, uh, responsible consumption and production is suggested and also followed. Clean water and sanitation, sustainable cities and communities, affordable and clean energy, good health and well being, partnership for the goals. and zero hunger. These are the major impacts of this greenhouse facility, and these are some of my references. And this is my contact info. You have my LinkedIn ID and email ID here. So